What's up, Raiders? Bionic here. Welcome to another Raid Shadow Legends video today. And what is it going to be? We're going to be talking about Minotaur 15 solo champions that can handle Minotaur 15. This is obviously not the first time we've covered this. In fact, one of my first videos, or at least over a year ago, was literally one of those champions doing exactly that. Since though I have geared and re-geared that champion to a point where I don't exactly use her for that anymore, but you can somewhat see her stats right here, okay? I am running lifesteal, obviously, and then we have 2 pieces of resistance. The resistance is not even that high. It could be a lot higher for this to be a little bit better, but you can see how early this is on my account, and it is doable, okay? So you guys can do this as well. I'm going to show you a list of potential champions you can use to do this, and a lot of this has been some feedback from the community, so I can't exactly verify each one of them. I don't have all of them. I can't build all of them, but I will give you guys another example that you could use today. All right, so let's get going with the list, and then we're going to jump into the game and I'll show you guys a little bit of footage. Okay, so apparently all these champions here could most likely do this, and I'm sure there is a lot more. It becomes more a question of gear rather than the champion himself, okay? Any decent champion with a good lifesteal gear, a decent amount of resistance and accuracy can most likely pull it off, all right? But what we're going to see in here is a lot of defense type champions, HP type champions, the occasional attack champion, but again, it's very dependent on the kit for the attack champions, all right? So we got Sir Nick, Valkyrie, Tyrell, which has come up many times, Miscreated Monster as well. I assume he needs some pretty solid gear to do this. Grizzled Jarl, which is one recently that somebody told me about. Ignatius. We got Vala, which is one of the free champions we got for the Amazon Prime program. We have Rosin Scarhide. Of course, this guy can probably pull it off with some good gear. Harvest Jack and Immortal Pieces apparently can pull it off. My own Crimson Helm, I know for sure, I've done it before. Mountain King, one of the few attack champions. We have Jizzo, which I'm almost 100% he can pull off. Most likely needs to be level 60. I've done some content with Jizzo before, but I've never put him to the test against the Minotaur 15 because I don't want to spend the resources on him right now. Then we have Sile of the Drakes, Mashald, the other attack champion, and somebody said Executioner. So this is the only rare in the list right now. I'm pretty sure it's not the only rare that could pull it off. It's just your gear is going to need to be that much better. But you know what? I'm going to say that it is possible. I think Executioner could pull it off as well with the right gear. Maybe somebody has one built. Maybe somebody can put it to the test. Reach out. We can do a quick build video on that champion. But somebody was asking for an accessible champion to work with. Question becomes, are any of these champions useful elsewhere? Are you going to build a champion specifically to solo Minotaur 15 and do nothing else? Obviously not, right? Tyrell would be a good example of a champion that's used elsewhere. Miscreated Monster, Grizzled Jarl, Ignatius, Vala, not that much. Rosin, yes. Harvest Jack, yes. Crimson Helm, it's a bit of a hit or miss for end game. Mountain King, yes. Jizzo, a little bit of a hit or miss, right? Sile of the Drakes, definitely. Mashal, definitely. Executioner, sort of like loses his edge towards the end game, okay? So you know what I mean? Obviously, you want to build a champion that you can use in other aspects of the game, okay? So let's jump into this right here, all right? I'm going to put my Sile of the Drakes to the test for you guys. I am running a champion that was recently leveled to rank 6, has no gear or very little gear on her, and this is obviously not the best time. So what will also be important is that you pick a champion that can do this relatively fast. I even forgot to put Martyr in that list because that's who I'm currently using, so we know Martyr can pull it off. But my Martyr obviously is a lot faster at doing this, okay? So, but the Sile of the Drakes is accessible. You're guaranteed to get her after 6 months. Therefore, you could sort of like plan around this and simply wait until you get to that point to use this champion to do it, all right? Also, she's not optimized to do this, as we'll see with her gear after. I have played around with her gear a little bit because I am using her in Tag Arena. Obviously, more speed would be better. If you break that 200 speed barrier, then you'll be able to go twice before all the enemies. If you put her in a Relentless set, she's probably going to perform that much better. But for me, it was all about just gearing a champion for something first, and then to see if she could pull this off, okay? So Sile of the Drakes is that champion for me. Also, if we go back to the list here real quick while this runs in the background, some of the buffs and debuffs will matter. Obviously, if you bring decreased defense, it will be a lot faster, which is why my Martyr, which is not in the list right now, you know what, let's just add her and then look at her kit real quick. We have Martyr, where is she? Right here, okay. And so decreased defense, decreased attack, counter attack, increased defense, provoke. Obviously, this is a very complete kit, okay? So, as I said, some of these champions will actually be that much better. My Crimson Helm was somewhat a little bit similar. We had increased defense, decreased attack, and provoke, okay? So, don't sleep on Crimson Helm. I think a lot of people overlook her. She's not the best decreased attack A1 champion, I get that, but for me, that's all I had for the longest time. Therefore, I use her quite a bit, okay? So, all this say that pick the champion that you think is going to be a little bit more useful elsewhere in the game. Obviously, the counterattack champions are great options. Decreased attack A1 champions are also great options, or just decreased attack overall, but block debuffs, increased defense with Grizzled Jarl. Ignatius is an excellent nuker to be used pretty much everywhere. Probably stay away from Vala because you're not going to use her that much. Rosalind, most likely a clan boss champion. Obviously, great kit overall, turn meter reduction, triple hit A1, somewhat of a nuker as well, so that works very well. Harvest Jack, good crowd control champion. All geared in Immortal, though, might not be the best use for him elsewhere in the game. Maybe for Faction Wars, but for me, it's all about a shield set and speed for the arena, so I wouldn't put my Harvest Jack in there. Okay, so again, be careful to not only gear this champion to do specifically this. Anyway, let's go. We're back here. We're on the boss. Okay, so at this point, for me, it's just going to be a little bit slow to take the boss down. I do have some turn meter control. It's really all about damage. I think my Salve of the Drakes is not geared for max damage, but as you can see, it is working, okay? And again, what is the benefit of doing this? It's the additional experience you can give the champion you are doing masteries for. I think this is the big goal for here. And I do want to take the time to point something else out. It's that when I first did this video, Minotaur 15 power leveling versus 800 gems for all masteries, which is a video I did not too long ago. You know what, let's just pull it up real quick. What I failed to also mention to you guys in there is that if you want the absolute best return on your energy, what I mean by that is sort of like to have the maximum amount of XP you can by using the energy for each run, you would put 4 champions in there, not 1. If you put 1 champion, you get like 10,300 XP, if I remember correctly, all right? You can check the video out, we talk about it in here. But if you put 4 champions, you're getting roughly a total of about 16,000 XP, okay? So you do get more XP total if you have more champions. But if you want to simply power level 1 champion at a time and do all the masteries on double XP, by the time she's level 60, she would have, not level 60, she would be level 56, 57, and she would have full masteries, okay? So I typically do it this way because when I work on a champion, it's usually I just have 1 up and ready to go because I'm about to use her for something else, okay? But still, you can kind of see where I'm going with this. Maybe doing 2 champions would be the sort of like the perfect balance between hitting level 60 and doing full masteries on both, but it is going to be a lot slower. If it takes 4, 5, 6 hours for 1 champion, it's going to take double that time, right? So unless you're using an auto clicker overnight, chances are this is going to drag on for a very long time. So anyway, my Salve of the Drakes, how is she currently geared? We have some frost pieces as well as immortals, so I do get a little bit more heals out of this, but she's high resistance because of how I use her in Tag Arena. Also a decent amount of accuracy. All PvE content, anything above 220 is maybe even a little bit overkill, but if you want more for Tag Arena or for PvP, obviously keep pushing accuracy up as much as possible. Okay, so my total stats right now are just about 200 speed. We have 3.8k defense, which is a little bit low, but overall decent. 400 resistance, which is way overkill. Way overkill for the PvE content. I think above 200 there's really no point, but still, if you can make a balanced build early on to have like 200 resistance, 200 accuracy, and you can use her pretty much everywhere, I think this will go a long way. Obviously, my damage is low. Again, I could have more crit damage. I could have 100% crit rate. Her in Relentless, like I said, that would be a lot quicker. I do have all the skills done on this champion right now. And as for the masteries, here is what I'm using. just kind of playing around with this, okay? So all to say, guys, that there are obviously a lot of champions that can do this. Let me know in the comments below, which one are you currently using? Are you going to give this a shot? And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys later.